Hey, co-reporters, welcome back to my channel. Apparently, rapper Kanye West has been running away from a $4.5 million lawsuit that his former business partner has filed against him and wants to serve him with. So this man, and by the way, this is all coming from Radar Online. They are really on it these days when it comes to breaking the scoop on celebrity legal drama. I'm telling you, do not sleep on Radar Online. So Kanye's former business partner is saying that Kanye signed him to an 18-month contract. Initially, he wanted Kanye to commit to a 2-year contract because he said, listen, I knew that Kanye was unstable as a client. I knew that, he was erratic. Anything could happen. So I wanted him to commit because it is a lot of work to be the CFO, to be a business manager. So I'm not going to do all of this just for him to have a hissy fit and fire me within like a week or two, as Kanye is known to do, right? And so he told Kanye, listen, if you want me to work with you, you're going to have to sign a 2-year contract. Kanye goes, no, the most I'm going to commit to is about 18. And so they managed to negotiate themselves down to that. And in Kanye form, what happens? After only 3 months of working with this man, Kanye allegedly decided to just go ahead and drop him as a CFO and as a business manager. So his name is Thomas St. John, and let's get into the story as told by Radar Online. So he and Kanye had a contract that he was going to be paid $300,000 a month, which totals to about $3.3 million as an annual salary for him, which is enormous, right? To be the CFO of Dona. I didn't know that Dona was I thought it was a nonprofit, first of all. So I did not know that it was bringing in that sort of money, but I digress. And so Mr. St. John said that at a certain point when, they were doing a business meeting, Kanye became very aggressive. And then ever since, he stopped paying his invoices. So he assumes that it's from then that Kanye decided in his head, without even telling him, that he didn't want to work with him anymore. So he just decided to ghost him. So when we get into the 2-year versus 2-month, that's all this over here, though I already did tell you guys about that a little bit earlier on. So I'm just going to scroll past it there. So just to reiterate, Thomas St. John was hired to act as Kanye's most senior financial advisor and the CFO to his Donda company. And he tried to file the lawsuit after Kanye became incredibly aggressive with him just before ghosting him. And so in his lawsuit, Mr. St. John is saying that Kanye screamed at him, made it clear he no longer wanted to work with him. And then when Thomas told him, listen, we signed an 18-month contract. It doesn't matter if you no longer want to work with me. Like, we signed it and a deal is a deal. There it is. And he probably told Kanye, listen, if you want to break this 18-month contract, you're going to have to pay me what was it again? $3.3 million that you would have to owe me at the end of this. Actually, sorry, it would be more because that's only for a 12-month contract. So add 300,000 6 more times after that. So I believe, the 4.5 million that he's suing Kanye for is fair based off of this, because it seems like he's basically just asking Kanye to buy him out of his contract, and he's not counting damages or anything like that, or loss of time or emotional distress, as a lot of people typically like to claim. So Mr. St. John is saying that when he confronted Kanye about the 18-month contract that he had just signed, Kanye allegedly told him, and I quote, "The 18-month term was BS, and you're insane for even thinking that I would stick to it." So at that point, Kanye had only paid 3 months out of the 18-month deal. And so Kanye has nothing to say about this lawsuit yet. And the thing that's really wild about it is it's because he's dodging it. Thomas has no idea how he can track down Kanye West. Kanye West, I don't know that it's fair even to say that he's specifically trying to dodge this lawsuit. Kanye West is someone who moves around a lot anyway, right? Like, which is natural, which is a given with his status, with his job, with his erraticness in general. So I personally think that it's more a case of this guy not being able to pin down Kanye's location, because Kanye is very nomadic almost. Like, if he feels like being in Wyoming, he'll be in Wyoming. If he feels like being in LA, he'll be there. New York, Belgium, France, anywhere. Like he just pops around anywhere he wants, anytime he wants to. So I think that that's mainly the reason why he's not really able to sign Kanye, and he doesn't really have like, that much insight into Kanye's team and whatnot. I don't think that Kanye's team would turn on Kanye and snitch him out or anything like that either. So in a recent filing, he said that before he filed the lawsuit, he was in contact with Kanye West's attorneys, but they stopped working with Kanye West. Are these the people who have dropped him as clients? Because Kanye lost a lot of lawyers during his divorce from Kim Kardashian because he was purposely missing dates and whatnot and just making it really difficult. So it wouldn't surprise me if he were doing something similar on the business front as well. So that's kind of wild. It's just so sad to see Kanye just shirk his responsibilities as a man, like this is all just really unfortunate stuff. So right, he goes to the lawyers. He wanted to serve them directly, like for Kanye or whatever. And they're like, listen, we don't even work for that man anymore. And hallelujah, thank God for that, because I imagine he's an incredibly difficult client to work with. I know he recently tried to work with the law firm that has Camille Vasquez and Ben, with that cute last name, I forgot his last name, Johnny Depp's attorneys, but they turned him down because of his anti-Semitic stance. And so now this Thomas St. John, Kanye's former business partner, is saying in his filing that, and I quote, after a diligent attempt, the process server was unable to execute service on the agent for service of process for Yeezy, who appeared to no longer be occupying the office address listed in the 2022 California state filing. So another crazy thing about that, Kanye West's companies were evicted for non-payment. And I don't know if Kanye is not paying or was not paying his lease because he didn't have money, as in he's going broke, or if it's because I believe it was Wells Fargo, or so I'm going to say that, but his bank had cut off his company's access to their money or something like that. So I believe that that is more what is at play here. I'm sorry, but there is just so much mess surrounding Kanye right now. He really needs some help to just untangle it all, because it really is a lot, because I believe that he will be sued for the back rent on his lease as well later on, right? Like, do you think the landlord's going to eat the loss on that? No. So the filing continued on to say, and I quote, for Mr. West, despite our diligent efforts, we were unable to ascertain his current residential address and therefore have not yet made attempts to serve him personally. Instead, we've attempted to service him by mail at multiple possible addresses. Oh, la, 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 la. So they tried sending notices to 3 different home addresses, and no one has sent back so far. And they're saying that they're so concerned that even if the mailings filed reached him, that he wouldn't even sign any acknowledgement of having reached it. So maybe they did find one of his addresses or something like that, but he's simply refusing to respond at all. Listen, you guys, you know how I feel about Kanye West. I feel like he's disappointed himself, and he's disappointed the world as well. And that he's really going through something right now that he is refusing to get help for, despite the millions and billions of resources at his feet. And that's just really disappointing to see. You can run, but you can't hide. I believe that his former business partner is going to be able to serve him at a certain point. And again, like I said earlier, I believe that he also will be sued for the back rent on the office space that he was evicted from, and who knows what else, because the mountain is just piling and piling and piling. And Kanye seems like somebody who no longer wants to have the responsibilities that are associated with living in this world, So it really is just a sad thing to see at the end of the day. But this is a story definitely worth following. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. If you guys are interested in the story as well, please do make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any updates. That in the meanwhile, let me know what you think about all of this going down in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.